everybody, this is Dallas Stone here doing a Let's 3D Model episode 89, and today's an awesome episode. First thing I like to do is I want to thank all the new subscribers. The channel has finally reached past 200 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so much for all the support. First off, I want to thank Stefan NW. I want to thank TCG Daily for the follow on Twitter. I want to thank Chris Simio, Sora Yahya, Jen Haffa, Sandir Shadhari, Jahadi, and Andres Rojo for subscribing to my channel. Thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate your guys' support. And I'm gonna ask the same question that I've been asking recently. How is it that you guys found my channel? And what video was it that you guys searched up and you guys ended up finding my channel? And what are some things that you guys enjoy about the channel? What are some things you guys like to see in the near future with the channel? So, um, so yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support. I know I've been saying that quite a bit this episode, but it's just amazing to see where this channel has grown now since the beginning of this year, and it's been fantastic creating all these videos for you guys. Secondly, I just want to ask you guys, how are you enjoying the new format? I know I've been saying this has been a new format for a while now, but it's been probably 3 or 4 episodes now where I've been doing this new format where I record a bunch of my sessions that I'm modeling, I'm speeding it up, and I'm just doing a commentary over it. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If you guys aren't, let me know. If you guys missed the webcam thing and the whole doing it live, let me know, and maybe I'll start bringing some of those back. So yeah, so just let me know. Write something inside the comments and let me hear your guys' thoughts because what you guys think is very important. Um, from from just looking at analytics and numbers, it looks like I'm getting a lot more views doing it this way, but I could be completely wrong. So, um, you know, comments are greatly appreciated. So yeah, I mean, I've been kind of going through this process with this whole model at this point, is just going in and adding in a lot of details, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are very glad that I'm kind of force speeding through these videos just to um, speed up the process because this is kind of tedious work. You're going in and you know, um, right here I'm using the dynamic, was it trim dynamic, just to kind of break up the really sharp, perfect edges of I believe this is the distributor part of the vehicle. And I'm just kind of breaking it up and adding in some dents and cracks and stuff like that. And I'm just kind of going in. I'm trying to finish up this video. I believe I am now finished putting in the base details for like the normal map. I might go in the near future and add in some more details into these, but I think what's really important at this point is moving on to the next step, which is going back to Maya, UVing a bunch of UVing the asset, and then starting to bake all of these details, uh, bake the normal maps into the low poly versions. I think that's very important at this stage, and I think spending any more time um, adding all these crazy details, but the workflow doesn't work, is going to be I don't know what the right word is, but it would definitely be kind of heartbreaking um, to find out that this whole time I've been putting all this effort into learning ZBrush and adding in all these details, and then at the end of the day, this process doesn't work with the workflow. You know what I mean? So fingers crossed that that's not the case. Fingers crossed that everything works out well, everything works out fine. But you know, it's definitely something that I've kept in back of my head. If this workflow does not end up working out, then I'm gonna have to find out. First off, I'm gonna have to find out a way to make it work. And if I can't, worst case scenario is I go back to what did work, which was Endu. Endu was working for me before I started using ZBrush. Um, so if I need to just finish this project off, I mean that is that is an option that I have. Obviously, I really hope that that's not what this. I really hope that that's not what this comes down to. I really hope that I can get this to work properly because I do enjoy ZBrush. I love the fact that I get full control of, like I've been saying, the normals that I'm creating. And so yeah, I mean, like even here, I noticed that my gear was off, right? And um, usually I'd be like, oh man, damn it, I'm gonna have to bring this back into Maya, but I'm actually doing all this kind of tweaking and modeling in ZBrush, which is absolutely fantastic. I love this program and I've grown to love it quite a bit. And it'd be really sad to find out that everything that I've been doing, everything that I've been learning is just not going to work. So I think regardless of what happens with the ZBrush here, I'm going to try and make it work because I've invested so much money and time into ZBrush that at this point I almost need to make this work. So yeah, so I'm just kind of going in again, just adding in a bunch of details to this. And something that I notice is I'm spending so much time putting details into all of this stuff, but I need to be smarter, now that I'm watching this again. I need to be smarter in where or like how much time I'm putting into small details. Um, like this gear, for example. This is like the smaller gear, and I'm sure not that many people are gonna actually look at it and see it due to the fact that it's a very small piece of the puzzle, right? And it's not gonna get scrutinized. It's not gonna be looked at very much. So, you know, do quicker um, iterations on it. And I think that that's really important. Put more of the details on the bigger assets, which is, the wheels, that front metal plating, that protects the front of the car. You know, like this timing belt. I believe you're gonna watch here, and you're gonna see that I'm just gonna quickly just throw on some texture to it, right? And then that's it. Just move on because no one's really gonna stare at that timing belt and the belt um, to make sure that it looks like completely correct. You know what I mean? Like it just needs to have that little subtle detail so that it doesn't look so bland, right? So it doesn't look so plain. And so here, now that I'm looking at this again, like even these little speedometer gauges, like it doesn't need to be perfect. You know what I mean? And I think I spent maybe a little bit too much time on it, trying to make it look perfect, when people probably aren't even gonna notice it. So something that I gotta keep in mind, something that maybe some of the newer artists keep in mind as well, is spend your time wisely. Um, at the end of the day, ZBrushing this vehicle might not even be worth it. You know what I mean? It might just be worth it doing a bunch of the stuff in Endu or whatever it may be. It might even be worth it in the future for me to just come up with a bunch of really good tileable textures that I can just throw on and just to see how the asset's gonna look like. I remember talking to Torfric, who's an amazing artist, 3D artist, um, and I remember I commented on one of his assets that he created, and I was like, dude, man, how did you get the textures on that thing? And he's like, you know what, dude, I have so many quick tileable textures that I just toss on. I have so many quick tileable normal map textures that I just throw on, and it's more for me. It's more for visualization. It's more for getting the point across really quickly than having something that's completely finished. And you know, he brings up such a good point there, right? Is you know, an asset like this, I guess, would be nice to have like a full finished product. But imagine if I had a really nice metal not corroded, but like a metal with like dust texture already kind of done, and metal dust. I mean, you can do a lot with that, right? And then I can just start throwing that texture onto the different materials in the asset, just to kind of get a visualization of it, right? Let's say I had like a leather tileable texture, right? But that has a little bit of dirt on it. Um, it'd be very easy if I had a tileable texture, just throw it onto this steering wheel, leather here, throw it onto the vehicle seats, right? Throw it on just to kind of see how it looks visually, right? It doesn't have to be finished, right? It just needs to kind of quickly give you an idea of what it may look like if you actually spent time and took a look at it. So I think that that's really important to go and actually do that. Um, so who knows? Maybe in the future I'll come back and I'll look at Endu again, look at Dedu again, for those type of purposes to kind of quickly see and visualize a bunch of these new assets that I'm going to create. So I think that in the future, after this asset is created, um, I might do a quicker, smaller asset and kind of go through that process with you guys. Go through the dedo and endu process where it's just like quick iterations, right? ZBrush was this huge learning experience for me, learning this new 3D package and figuring out the workflow between Maya and ZBrush. And I think for my next project, it's definitely not going to be at that scale. Sorry, I'm completely going on a tangent here. Hopefully, you guys don't mind too much. But essentially, what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of throwing on, different brushes and alphas to kind of create a more damaged, more used, I guess, seat, right? I think in the future, when I'm building these seats, I'm going to be actually modeling and sculpting more of the shape of the seat. Like I probably could do that still in ZBrush, but at this point, like I said, I'm at the point now where I just want to move on to the next step. I don't want to spend too much time on the small minute details, and if it really throws up the composition later on, then I will go back and make the tweaks, right? Um, but because now I know this process so much better, I know that the next project that I throw into Maya, I put into ZBrush, and I bake everything into low poly and back in Maya, that it's going to be a lot quicker. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up here since this video is going to be ending. I just want to thank again all of my supporters.